Something is about to happen to you that you have not planned for, have not campaigned for, and did not see coming. A seat of influence, authority, and impact is being pulled toward you by forces operating entirely outside of human logic. Not because you pushed your way in, not because you outmaneuvered anyone, but because everything you have been in private, your preparation, your patience, your integrity when no one was watching, has been silently constructing a throne that your name was always on. The room is already being arranged. The seat already has your name attached to it, and the moment of placement is closer than you currently believe. In the entire spiritual history of divine elevation, unexpected placement of this nature has only ever occurred when a soul has completed an invisible curriculum that no institution could certify and no human authority could recognize. Most people who occupy seats of influence arrive there through visibility, networking, and self-promotion. But there exists a far rarer pathway, one where the seat comes to the soul rather than the soul fighting toward the seat. Ancient texts describe this as the throne of preparation, a position held in divine reserve for the soul whose readiness was built in hiddenness. What is moving toward you has never been available through striving, and it cannot be accessed any other way than the way you arrived. Recently, you chose to keep preparing even when there was no visible stage for your preparation. You studied, refined, and developed yourself for a role that had not yet presented itself. You maintained your standards in a season where lowering them would have been easier and more immediately rewarding. You chose depth over visibility and excellence over recognition. That decision registered in the spiritual realm as the final confirmation of your readiness. The universe does not place unprepared souls in seats of influence. It waits until the soul has become the full embodiment of what that seat requires. Your recent choice to keep going without applause was the signal that your placement was finally authorized. You have been observed by both dark and divine forces throughout your entire season of preparation. Dark forces worked to convince you that preparation without immediate reward was pointless, that if no one was watching, the work did not matter. They engineered delays and invisibility, hoping to erode your commitment to excellence before your placement arrived. But divine intelligence was watching every private moment of preparation with extraordinary attention. Every skill developed in silence, every standard maintained without audience, every moment you chose growth over shortcuts. All of it was being evaluated against the requirements of the seat being prepared for you. You were never unseen. You were being fully assessed for something enormous. Remember when you over-prepared for an opportunity that never materialized, and instead of becoming cynical, use that preparation to go deeper. Remember when you were overlooked for a position that went to someone less prepared, and you responded by refining your craft further rather than abandoning it. Remember when you were in a room where you could have taken credit dishonestly and chose transparency instead. Remember when you had the opportunity to use a shortcut that would have advanced you faster, but compromised your integrity, and you chose the longer road. Each of those decisions was not just a character test. It was a qualification process for a seat that demands exactly the kind of person those decisions were building. The higher beings responsible for assigning seats of influence across human history conducted a review of your preparation record, and the results were extraordinary. They measured your consistency in private against the requirements of public responsibility and found a rare alignment. Most souls who desire influence have not done the internal work that influence demands. But your record showed something different. A soul who had been preparing for a seat they could not yet see, maintaining standards for a stage that had not yet appeared, developing gifts for an audience that had not yet assembled. This soul was classified as placement ready, a designation so rare it is only assigned when the seat and the soul are in perfect correspondence. At the precise moment your most recent act of private preparation occurred, God turned his full attention toward your life. The archangels assigned to oversee divine placements and appointments gathered and observed what was unfolding in your trajectory. They saw a soul who had remained faithful to preparation, in a season that offered no external reward for doing so. And in that moment, a divine council was convened specifically about your placement. The seat being held in reserve for you was reviewed, confirmed, and formally attached to your name in the celestial record. What was spoken over you in that council established your elevation as immovable, regardless of who may have overlooked you in the natural realm. A decree of placement was issued, and it is already executing in the natural world. The universe has begun moving the precise sequence of events, conversations, and encounters required to position you in front of the seat that carries your name. What will appear to others as sudden and unexpected has actually been in divine preparation for longer than you realize. The decree states that your elevation will not require you to beg for it, perform for it, or compromise yourself to access it. It will arrive as a natural consequence of who you have become. The season of invisible preparation is officially complete, and the season of visible placement has formally and irrevocably begun. You are not simply a person about to receive an unexpected opportunity. You are an ancient soul who has carried the blueprint of this specific assignment across multiple lifetimes of preparation. You are a celestial architect, a soul designed not just to occupy a seat of influence, but to rebuild what that seat was always meant to accomplish. Every season of hiddenness was not delay, it was construction. You were being built from the inside out into someone whose character could sustain the weight of the platform being prepared. A throne moving toward you was never meant for the version of you that first desired it. It was always meant for the version that was forged in patience, integrity, and unwitnessed excellence. Your mission in this seat is not to accumulate power, but to demonstrate what power looks like when it is held by someone who was built for it through integrity rather than ambition. You are assigned to occupy this space and redefine what influence means in every room you enter. The people who will be affected by your placement are waiting for someone who leads with wisdom, serves with humility, and makes decisions from a place of genuine purpose rather than ego. You are that person. Your assignment is to sit in this seat and prove through every decision you make that preparation and character are still the most powerful qualifications any position of influence can ever require. Watch what begins to happen in your practical, everyday life as the placement draws closer. Conversations will begin opening doors you never knocked on. People in positions of authority will begin noticing you without you seeking their attention. Resources needed for your next level will arrive ahead of schedule. The right relationships will begin forming around the seat being prepared, because influence of this nature always arrives with an ecosystem built to support it. None of this will feel forced, because it is not forced. It is divinely orchestrated infrastructure activating in your timeline. The preparation you invested in silence is now generating a return that will be visible to everyone who once watched you wait. When you step into this seat, you will not need to announce your arrival, because your presence will speak before you do. The way you carry yourself, the way you make decisions, the way you treat people who can do nothing for you, all of it will communicate something that words cannot. People around you will begin to shift. Those who are meant to rise alongside, you will feel activated by your elevation. Those who are still waiting for their own placement will see your unexpected seat as evidence that theirs is also coming. Your promotion will not just change your life, it will become a living declaration to everyone in your proximity that divine timing is real and that preparation is never wasted. Right now, across the world, thousands of souls are in the final stages of their own invisible preparation seasons, unknowingly approaching their own unexpected seats. They have been faithful in hiddenness, excellent without applause, and patient without certainty. They are part of the same global network of placement-ready souls being simultaneously positioned for their divine assignments. When your seat arrives and you step into it, your elevation sends a frequency to every one of those souls still waiting in preparation that the moment is real, and that faithfulness in the hidden season is the most direct path to influence in the visible one. You are connected to all of them, and your placement accelerates theirs. If this message found you today, it is because your placement is close enough that the Universe needed you to be aware of what is coming, so you do not mistake it for coincidence when it arrives. And if you stayed until this final word, your seat was always going to find someone with exactly that kind of patience.